Kamen Riders are typically ordinary people who transform into powerful warriors that battle evil organizations or monstrous enemies. Their primary mission is to protect humanity from threats, often involving high-tech villains or alien forces. Kamen Riders are usually equipped with advanced technology like bikes and weapons, but their most distinctive feature is the power they gain from a transformation device, often called a driver, which grants them enhanced strength, speed, and sometimes unique abilities like superhuman agility, elemental powers, or even control over energy. The source of their power often comes from a combination of science, alien technology, or mystic forces, depending on the series. While the power of each Kamen Rider varies, the most powerful Kamen Riders are often those who have undergone multiple transformations or have access to ultimate forms, like Kamen Rider But despite the heroic legacy of Kamen Riders, there is one who stands apart. Kamen Rider Zi-O, the one who was destined to protect time itself, to become the beacon of hope for humanity. But in the shadows of his future, a darker fate looms. Prophecy speaks of Zi-O becoming a tyrant, a ruler whose ambition grows insatiable, and whose rule will bring devastation upon the world he once swore to protect. He will gain power over the laws, or reality itself, one that makes him a god in armor, giving him the power to bring humanity to its knees. It's 2068. The Earth was subjugated by the terrifying reign of Ohma Zi-O. A resistance, desperate to reclaim freedom, launched a rebellion against his reign, but their efforts were hopeless against his near godlike strength. With no way out, a warrior named Guise Mayoko traveled back to the past in search of a way to eliminate the source of this darkness, hoping to alter history and destroy the man who would become Ohma Zi-O before he could bring about such devastation. His target, Sogo Tokiwa, the boy who would become Kamen Rider Zi-O and eventually Ohma Zi-O. Sogo Tokiwa, born on April 28, 2000, always envisioned himself as someone destined for power.
受験どうするんだっけ？やらないよ。王様になるって言ってるでしょ？だよね、王様だよね。
As a child, he made a bold declaration to his parents that he would one day rule as king. A few years later, on April 24th, 2009, a devastating bus accident left Sogo and his parents near death. Yet, in a fortunate turn of events, Sogo, among a group of children, were transported away just before the crash occurred, sparing him from a fatal accident that claimed his parents. These children found themselves in an unfamiliar future, where a city was under siege by a powerful invader. Sogo accidentally awakened his hidden abilities in an effort to protect another person. His memories were then altered, and he was sent back to the moment of the crash. From that moment, Sogo was convinced that he was destined for greatness, though this belief came at the cost of his social life. His uncle often mentioned how Sogo's obsession with being a king made him a solitary figure throughout his youth. One day, Sogo discovered a strange watch, and shortly after, a mysterious figure named Waz appeared, warning him about the danger posed by Guise Mayoko, who was out to kill him. However, this was just one potential timeline, one where Sogo took a lighter path and embraced his role as a hero. The version of Sogo that would eventually become Ohma Zi-O followed a very similar but much darker path, the one that was shaped by different choices and encounters that diverged him from the more hopeful reality. Without interference from time travelers, Sogo would have naturally come into possession of the Zi-O Ride Watch 2, gaining power over time itself. In the original timeline, on April 7th, 2019, Sogo's transformation into the demonic Ohma Zi-O began. His power surged, and he used it to wipe out every Kamen Rider. Through the devastating might of his minions, Sogo obliterated much of the world's population, bringing chaos and despair. By 2068, his totalitarian regime had decimated nearly half of humanity, with the resistance still trying to fight back. During a battle with the rebels, Ohma Zi-O easily crushed their forces, boldly proclaiming his belief that he was destined to rule, declaring that he was born to be king. Ohma Zi-O's arrogance came from his belief that his reign was not just inevitable, but righteous. His immense power only fueled this conviction, as he saw himself as the world's savior, even as he ruled with an iron fist. His unshakable ego led to him believing that his actions were justified, and nothing could sway him from his belief, because it was his divine right to control the world. And unfortunately, his sheer power backs up this immense arrogance. Ohma Zi-O possesses the combined powers of nearly every Kamen Rider from the past, granting him access to their abilities. Through his mastery of the Ride Watch system, he can summon and empower past riders, wield their unique powers, and alter abilities that suit his needs. He can tap into Kamen Rider Kuga's enhanced strength, speed, and elemental control, Kamen Rider Agito's agility, perception, and elemental manipulation, Kamen Rider Fates' high-tech weaponry, and advanced combat skills. Additionally, he can travel through time like Kamen Rider Zi-O and absorb the abilities of other riders from different worlds through Kamen Rider Decade. He also gains access to Kamen Rider W's elements and psychic forces, as well as Kamen Rider X-Aid's healing and life force manipulation. Bro is basically Gilgamesh, and this isn't even the end of his abilities. Ohma Zi-O embodies the concept of Heisei, making him an abstract, transcendent entity that exists beyond the conventional physical limitations. His immortality is guaranteed by merging with his parallel world counterpart, granting him the power to transcend time, space, and even life and death itself. He is immune to all dualities and the manipulation of reality, including the concept like good and evil, light and dark, and inside and outside, granting him a level of invulnerability and control over these forces. Ohma Zi-O possesses cosmic awareness, enabling him to perceive changes across timelines and recognize beings from higher dimensions. He can also manipulate time and space at will, allowing him to alter events and realities, freeze or reverse time, and even erase entire timelines and universes. He can teleport, manipulate the power of others, create and destroy at a conceptual level, and regenerate from even the most catastrophic attacks. His reality warping abilities allow him to alter the very fabric of existence, reshape matter, and erase entities from existence, including that of other riders who might be immune to traditional forms of death. He has extensive control over concepts like causality, fate, and law, enabling him to manipulate and negate these forces that shape the universe at his will. His telepathic abilities allow him to interact with others across different timelines and manipulate minds, while his ability to manipulate elements such as magma, ice, and even the fundamental forces of nature further enhance his combat prowess. He is also capable of summoning and empowering other riders and bestow powers to alter the course of events. Ohma Zi-O's regenerative abilities are nearly godly, and his ability to negate immortality or resist powers that would affect other beings makes him nearly indestructible. With control over time, dimensional travel, and the power of absolute negation, Ohma Zi-O is virtually untouchable, capable of bending reality and fate itself to assert his dominance across the multiverse. With powers like that, it is no wonder the one who beat him was himself.